Hello and welcome to Podcast X.7, here with myself, James. That came out so wrong. Should I keep going? I don't know.
Go ahead.
I haven't done an intro since episode 1, but I'll keep going anyway. So I'm here with Bunny Tears, my most audacious co-host. How are you doing tonight?
Always gravy, Mr. James. How are you?
I'm fine. So, first topic. Now, for anybody who hasn't seen the video of myself, Y2 Canyon, and Bunny Tears going to Eurogamer, a link will be in the description. Go check that out. That might help you to understand what you're just about to hear. So, Eurogamer, how is your opinion of the new consoles? All games changed.
Ooh, well, my opinions have changed vastly, really. They're very much so, because, like I've said in previous podcast, I was kind of in the middle ground. I was going to get both consoles on release day and not really care about the whole console battles thing and just avoid it at all costs. However, as I'm sure you probably noticed as well, every single blockbuster game that was there was being played on the Xbox One.
Yes.
And it got me wondering. I mean, all of these huge companies are there and they choose to put their new game, their new title, the future of their business on an Xbox One rather than PS4. So that kind of got to me. But also, after seeing the PlayStation 4 controller, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the way the PlayStation 4 controller looks. It looks a bit cheap and plasticky and. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I like it. Although it is bigger than the PS3 controller, it's still quite small. And as soon as I touched the Xbox One controller, I was like, okay, yeah, this is for me. I like this. I do like this. So I've actually changed my pre-orders. I've
Really?
I took off my pre-order of the PS4 for two reasons, really. One, because of obviously what we saw at Eurogamer. But the main reason being because of the whole. Have you heard about this third party banning? So you won't be able to record on the PS4 from the get go. Yeah. So the only reason I was getting both was so that I could record both. So I might as well just wait until the PS4 is allowing people to record it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they've done that. I really don't. They must have realised this is a really bad decision, because surely if they're, I don't know who looks into this, maybe their PR guys have any, knowledge of what's going on in the YouTube kind of scene, then they would know that they really are getting a lot of sales from people seeing people on YouTube playing games, which they then go, oh, that actually looks pretty fun, maybe I should get that.
Of course. I mean, any company, any one of these gaming companies that doesn't see how big YouTube is as a medium to promote their content is just they're living in the past. They really are.
And I think the best example of that is Minecraft. The guys down at Mojang, they love it when people make YouTube videos.
Yeah,
they don't claim it. People make songs about it. I mean, the Yogscast have made like 5 parodies about it, and they've all had millions and millions of hits. And they could have claimed those videos and made quite a lot of profit, but they haven't. They've let it roll, and they've let millions of people do it. So now that Minecraft is the most played game on YouTube.
Yes, it is. And I will always have a huge amount of respect for Notch and his team for doing that, because they basically said from the get-go, here's a game, customize it as much as you want, mod it as much as you want, upload it to YouTube as much as you want. It's completely free to do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Enjoy. And as soon as, I mean, to be fair, let's think about this for a second. Minecraft wouldn't be as big as it is today if it wasn't for YouTube. I mean, the guy who introduced me to Minecraft heard about it on YouTube, and I mean, it did take a long time for the game to kick off. If you look at when the Minecraft was actually released from the day one, when it was released in alpha or beta, whichever one it was released in.
It was in alpha, yeah.
In alpha, yeah. It was ages ago, a long time ago, a long time before it actually saw any success or anything like that. And YouTube just kind of boosted that up to a level where now it's just huge.
Yeah, it really has. And actually, it was a YouTuber who introduced me to it as well. I think it was the Syndicate who did a big. He did a huge range of episodes on it, and I watched them. And you watch these games, and then you hear about your friends playing them. And you want to get involved,
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not trying to say the game isn't good. The game is almost, I'll almost say revolutionary in the amount of stuff that you can do in it. But YouTube just kind of gave it that little nudge. And as soon as people saw that on YouTube, whether it was Yogg's Cast or the Syndicate Project, they loved it and they thought, okay, how do I get my hands on this?
Yeah, it really is. It's a leading light in how PR should really be done with games nowadays. And what PS4 have done, that can only hurt them. I can't see
Definitely.
how that will advantage them, and it's not what they would have done.
100%. It makes absolutely no sense to me, at least. I mean, I'm sure there is some kind of business thought behind it. Like maybe they were just trying to avoid having glitches on the PS4 put onto YouTube, like when it was
Yeah,
released.
that's the only reason I can think of is they don't want problems being broadcasted to so
Yeah,
many people.
exactly. But at the same time, that's a risk you take, my friend. I
Yeah.
mean, look at
It's
Grand
hard to
Theft
lose an
Auto.
argument you're not in, but then again, it's also hard to win it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very hard to win.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's always that. What of games though? Any games that changed your opinion? For me, COD Ghosted.
Yes.
Back in the days when I first started playing COD, it was a nice experience. It takes me back to what gaming was originally for me, which was just something that I wanted to get so addicted with. I'd keep playing it, but over time that's slowly gone. Whereas playing it, as a team like we did then, I mean, it might have been to do with the team atmosphere we had, and we were all sat next to each other, and
Yeah.
it was the ideal setup. Apart from the huge monitors 10 inches away from my eyes, but other than that, it was a nice experience, and it's kind of got me excited a bit for it.
Yeah, exactly the same. I wasn't excited for Call of Duty Ghosts, if I'm completely honest. There are a couple of other games that I was more excited for, but when I actually sat down and played it, just the atmosphere and just the game itself was very good. And I'm now very, very excited for Call of Duty Ghosts. And for a while there, I was thinking, okay, Call of Duty, maybe it's going to fall behind now, it's going to get taken over, but I think it's still got a few more games in it.
Yeah, I definitely think it
Definitely.
has.
And what was the other game actually I wanted to make a mention of? Titanfall.
Titanfall. Have you
Titanfall.
played that? I didn't actually get a chance
Wow.
to play it.
Yeah, man. It was upstairs. It was insane. It was when I watched all of the videos and stuff like that of have you watched actually the release videos where they showed like
Yes.
gameplay footage?
Yeah.
There was one point in that where some guy's Titan was about to explode. So he ejected, went into the air, and then landed on another guy's Titan, an enemy Titan, and started shooting it in the back of the head, essentially, and then blew it up, and then jumped off and like grabbed onto a ledge and climbed on top of a building. And I thought that's the most set up thing I've ever seen. There is no way you're going to be able to actually pull that off in a game unless you try it 100 times. And then the first game I go into, that's exactly what I did. I'm in my Titan. I'm kicking the shit out of everyone. I'm about to blow up. I pull it, get out, get ejected into the air, and the guy who just blew up my Titan, I land on top of his head and start kicking the shit out of him. It was
Wow,
great.
that's brilliant. Yeah.
And then the free running in it, because it's got a lot of free running. You can run across walls and jump in straight through windows. I think it's going to be extremely interesting to see how exactly that is going to evolve. Not only just like it as a game series, but all first-person shooters, because it's added another level of difficulty to it. Because it's hard to shoot someone when they're free running about the place.
Yeah. Moving
It's
target.
almost a mix between Halo and Call of Duty, and I am very excited for that game. Very excited.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I've seen of it, I didn't actually get a chance to play it, but especially hearing what you said about what was in the advert, it wasn't such as Fantasyland as I thought it was. So yeah, that does get me excited for it. And,
Yes.
I hope good things for the game. I hear the developers really have put a lot of effort into it, and I hope it does well.
Yeah, so do I. Although well, not really to do with Titanfall, but Battlefield 4. I have to say something about Battlefield 4. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I played Call of Duty Ghosts. I felt they made a lot of changes. It felt like a completely different game, and it was amazing, but it still held all of that stuff that you love about Call of Duty. Titanfall was brand new. I've never seen anything like it. It was perfect. You think that in a game like that, where there's a lot of free running and stuff like that, there'd be a lot of glitches and it'd be hard to do right. But you could literally run from one side of the map to the other, just running across the side of walls. It was perfect. Battlefield 4. It felt like I was playing Battlefield 3, but on a new map. That's
Yeah,
it was a
it looks a
problem.
bit like that. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it was a problem for me. And don't get me wrong, Battlefield 3, a great game. I really enjoy playing it. But when I went into Battlefield 4, I wanted something new, something like not completely different, but upgraded at least. And yeah, fair enough. The graphics, they've been made better, but you could have literally put Battlefield 3 with better graphics on it, and it would have been the exact same experience for me at least. For me.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna have to quickly stop the recording for a couple seconds because my Skype has been going crazy with whatever's going on in the
Oh, were you recording again now, Mr. James?
It's going, yes.
All right, well, guys, sorry about that short break, but James fucked something up. I don't know. He was entirely responsible for what just happened.
Oh yeah, the Skype noises
Entirely.
you'll hear in the first, what was that, 10 minutes or so of the podcast were totally not Bunny talking to the express masses.
Look, yeah, you're the one recording. It's your responsibility to silence your Skype. My Skype is silenced, so I don't see what the problem is.
I identified the problem and I've stopped it.
Okay, good. Well, yes, like I said, entirely James's fault.
Oh.
I had nothing to do with what just happened.
Wow, and literally, as I said to him, I'm going to have to quickly stop the recording for a second, he said, no worries, I'll take the blame for it, you should have just let it going and I'll take 100% of the responsibility. And now we've got the record going.
He has a name. This isn't the cat's father.
Oh,
it's
Mr. Bunny Tears.
Yes, that's me. Thank you. Have some respect, James. No, let me see. Well, do you want me to move on to one of my topics I've got here?
No.
No? Okay, well then your turn.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead.
About Eurogamer still. How has your opinion of me after Eurogamer changed versus of what you expected of me before Eurogamer?
I don't know. If I'm honest, it hasn't changed that much. When I saw you, I thought you looked a bit different to what I was expecting you to look like, despite the fact that I've seen you in videos before. I've seen you in, vlogs and in all the videos that you've actually put out ever.
Yeah.
But
in what way, though? I'm quite curious.
I honestly don't know. I think, actually, it might have been that, because, all right, how old are you, Mr. James?
I'm 15.
15, precisely. Okay, so you look older than 15, right?
People have said that before, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that out there. You look older than 15. However, you act older than you actually look. So I think after seeing you on the internet and speaking to you for this large amount of time, I expected you to look like a 25-year-old. Something along them lines. So when I saw you, I thought, wow, okay, he does actually look quite young. Obviously older than your age, but still quite young to how you act, at least. In regards to your actual personality, there wasn't that much difference, if I'm honest. I mean, I always knew you were a nice guy before we met at Eurogamer. Ended up you were a nice guy at Eurogamer. So
I was quite worried about what you were going to say.
Yeah, I was tempted to just I was tempted to just go, yeah, you were a prick. No, but no, so you were a nice guy at Eurogamer. It was fine. We had a great time. You were very outgoing. There was, just like I expected, there was no weirdness in the fact that we hadn't actually met physically before. It was just extremely comfortable from the get-go. So, I mean, my opinion of you hasn't really changed that much, if I'm completely honest. It's pretty much the same as it was before, only now I know what you look like in real life, and I thought you'd be taller. I'll say that. Yeah, I thought you would be taller. When I was standing next to you, I was thinking, you know what? This ain't that tall. This guy, I was expecting some mountain of a man.
You know what's weird? And when people who've watched the video you stood next to me, they've gone, wow, James, you actually look really tall next to this guy.
Yeah, I know. But that's because we were talking about how tall you are before we even met.
Yeah. So we knew that there was a height difference before we met.
Yeah, of course. So I was just expecting some giant of a man. And I was like, oh, wait, no, that's a normal-sized human being. Good.
Yeah, well, my height isn't insanely above average at all. I mean, I think the average height of a man's like 5'9", but I mean, I'm not entirely sure about that for the UK. But I'm no Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon's a beanpole. That guy's pretty tall.
Canyon's a tall man.
I'd spent 2 days with him before you lot showed up, so I felt like an Oompa Loompa the whole time. It's not fun being the oldest guy there and the shortest. I'll tell you that much.
You weren't the shortest.
I was close.
Really?
Yeah, of course I was
You
close.
weren't. What? You and Cameron?
What?
You and Cameron?
Cameron? Well, yeah, I guess. Cameron. Well, I don't know. Cameron wasn't that much shorter than me, was he?
He was.
Was he?
Yes.
I did not know that.
I try not to make too much of a fuss about this, but watch the video.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, the bit where he's handing the bike over to you.
Yeah, but then, okay, I saw that, and we just looked like two midgets then. That's it was ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
the bike was towering above us. I had to like jump up and then try and keep balance because my feet didn't touch the floor. It was a joke.
No,
But hey, my father was short. My son will be short. Deal with it.
he might not be. You could, if you marry an insanely tall woman.
Yeah, but I can't do that. You see, my masculinity wouldn't allow it. It would not allow it. I was speaking to some girl.
That.
I was speaking to some girl the other day who seemed reasonably interested in some form of relationship, and I said to her, "Okay, look, you are 6 foot tall, okay? I'm 5'9" at a push. This is never gonna work. I can't look up to you. I'm not getting out the yellow pages when we need to kiss, and if you're wearing high heels, we've got a problem, okay? So, you're amazing, you're beautiful, but it just doesn't work logistically, okay?
Tall. I mean, that's tall for a woman anyway.
Yeah, it is very tall. I like my girls to be either the same height or shorter.
I think that's the same with most guys.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't say
it's
you're saying
easier
you're
for
saying-
most guys than it is for I.
Yeah, like for me, it's not often I come across a female counterpart who is taller than me, regardless of age. That really doesn't happen I mean, I'm 5'11", 6 foot at a push, and you don't often find girls that tall. That's not a common occurrence. So yeah, but even thinking about it, I mean, even if she's 6 foot tall, like you say, girls like to wear high heels.
Yeah, that's always.
Even for
always.
me, that's still kind of like, wow. Yeah, and with the height thing as well, what she said, a lot of people. I had a friend the other day, and he's quite tall, and he actually said to me, so we were in a lesson, and he said to me, James, I've just turned around, and you're the same height as me. I said, yeah, I know, and he said, it's weird because when I look at you, you don't look tall, but you are. And that's
you know what? That's true. That's very true. Because if you look at your the first video you put on your channel, R.I.P. Wings video.
Yeah.
Well, what was the main comment on when it was on Woody's channel? It was that you were some short ass.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, this guy's short, and then it was like, oh wait, okay, he's not really, but
yeah.
Okay.
And I find that quite curious. And he narrowed it down to, he said, you don't have the build of a short person. Sorry, you don't have the build of a tall person, is what he said.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what he was trying to say from that. I mean, I'm not like a rugby player of a build by any means, but I'm not a beanpole either, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I suppose most of the tall people I know are thin and tall, whereas you're a pretty in proportion guy. You just look like a normal person. Yeah, I see what he's saying. You don't look like a tall guy, but then like as you walk towards you realize, oh wait, he's getting bigger. Oh wait, hold on a second, and then you're looking up and you're like, oh okay, this is happening.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm not sure. My arms are insanely long for my height.
Really?
Yeah. If you stand up straight, can you touch your knees without bending? Just let your arms. Just let your arms dangle down to your side, and can you touch your kneecaps?
If you tell me that you can touch your kneecaps when you're standing up with your hands beside, wait, no, you're not finished. Go ahead, finish.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, can you do it? I mean, we try. How far?
Of course I can't do it. I'm a human. Can you?
Yes.
Oh my god! You are an orangutan. That's just not a human thing, mate. You need to get that checked out. You can touch your knees.
Yes.
So the only thing between your hands and the ground is a shin length. A shin. That's it.
You spent the whole day with me and you didn't notice this?
Of course I didn't notice this. My brain probably saw it and went, nah, that's not right. Okay, just ignore that.
Oh, God. No, but that's the thing. And,
Okay, you've either got very high knees or you've got freakishly long arms.
I have a short torso.
A short torso.
Yes. Now
That doesn't make sense because you're
it-
tall, which means that you would have to have long legs,
I do.
which is the same problem.
Uh, so I'm going to try and explain this from what I found and what other people have said to me. So my arms, for people my height, is longer than normal anyway. Part of that's down to the fact I have bigger hands than people, so my fingers kind of stretch out further anyway. But if I've stood next to people who are the same height as me, we've put our arms out, and my arms come out 2 or 3 inches further. Which is actually, it doesn't sound that much, but that's quite a considerable amount when you're talking about 2 people the same height having that much difference between them. And the way I've kind of grown in proportionately. Now, I might not actually be done growing. From what people have told me, I'm not done growing, so I'm still actually growing. So I've actually got the waist height of somebody who is 6'2". But I've got the torso height of somebody who is 5'10". So it's obviously making sense in your head and how this equals out to my actual height, which is 5'11/6".
So you should technically get taller.
Yes, that is what people are telling me. People are telling me that I should technically keep growing until I'm about 6'1", 6'2".
God damn!
So
I bet you can take a selfie of 20 people. You know when everyone squeezes in, I bet you can just reach that arm out and just get a selfie with everyone in it, the whole class.
There have literally been occasions of people have been like, oh, I can't reach this. Hang on, James, no, don't choose James. He's not as tall as that guy. No, trust me. You want James for this. And I walk over, and even though I'm not the tallest guy in the room, I can reach it.
Oh my god.
And there are people who are taller than me in the room who still can't reach it.
Go get your arm!
It's a weird thing, I suppose. I mean, I've got size 12 feet as well, so I suppose when I'm standing on my tiptoes, I get a bit more loft than most people. And
oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I have nothing more to say.
Quite an improportionate human. Really.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I have no idea what to say to you, Mr. James. I'm sure one day you'll be a normal person. Don't worry. I just keep holding on, and one day you won't have those. Who's that guy from Street Fighter or whatever that game was called, with the stretchy arms?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that guy. It was even Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter. Yeah, it was Street Fighter. Like the first Street Fighter, with that guy with that long, stretchy arms. That's you.
I got no idea. Okay. I guess I'll just have to accept
Ooh, my ex-girlfriend just came online on Skype. We should get her in as a guest.
Do it.
No, it's never gonna happen, but I'll try.
Dude, you can try. I mean, I'll make the question appropriate.
What question?
The next would you rather, I'm just about to say.
Oh, okay. Well, she probably won't respond for a little bit anyway, so I say bang on with the would you rather.
Are you sure? I mean, this one would really be a lot better with her here.
Oh, am I gonna have to call her or something?
Just drag her into the call.
Okay, let me grab my phone. Oh, I'll tell you what. We'll talk about my my little thing topic before we bounce onto yours. So, what do you think of what YouTube has done recently? As in, changed pretty much everything.
Oh, with all the layouts and everything.
Yeah.
It looks nicer. I think it's hard to argue with that. Everything looks a little bit more refined, I suppose. I mean, if you look at what YouTube was 3 years ago versus what it is now, you could spot out which one's the newer one. You know. But I don't like it in terms of I find some boxes still don't work.
Really? Still,
I find. I'm subscribed to a guy called Ray William Johnson. I'm sure you've all heard of.
Of course.
And videos which he uploaded 6 months ago are appearing on my newsfeed today.
Really?
How does that happen? I don't believe my computer can be responsible for this in any shape or form because this is happening in my browser. So, explain to me, YouTube, how is this a thing? You know, why am I watching, you know, a video which I'm like, oh, well, I swear he's kind of changed the format of his video. Oh, this is from, like, April. What's going on?
You know what? I've noticed that as well, and it was also with Ray William Johnson.
Yeah.
I just thought he was re-uploading everything.
No.
Yeah, I did notice that. I think it was like 2
Yeah.
days ago. I was sitting there thinking, I'm sure I've seen this before.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, that's
Sub boxes are fucked up, and everything else I can kind of cope with. I don't like the fact I have to do one more click to change the quality or the size of the screen, but other than that,
the one thing I don't like is YouTube slowly but surely trying to implement Google Plus onto everyone.
yeah, okay, actually, yeah. Now you've brought that up. I don't like the Google Plus. I don't like the fact in Google Plus it's been screaming at me for the last couple of months to change my username to a real name.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
It's like, oh,
about?
hey, I noticed your YouTube name doesn't look like a real name. Why don't we just go ahead and put your real name out there? Would you like that? Should we do that? Click here if you want to do that. And if you don't want to, if you want to look around the screen and try and find the tiny button that says you don't have to, then you're welcome to play, you know, manhunt for it. But otherwise, this is what's going to happen.
Hey,
I don't like that.
This is what stressed me out, okay? Because I got that exact same thing. It said, hey there, guess what? We know your name, and we're going to put it out there unless you click here quickly.
Yeah.
So I quickly clicked there, and then it said, like, there was two options. Either my real name, my full real name, by the way, or
Oh, God.
my YouTube channel name. So it was like, how would you like your YouTube channel to be seen? I think there was three options. One was Bunny Tears Online, one was my full name, and one was just Bunny Tears. So I was like,
So it's like,
I'll tell you what, yeah, I'll go for just Bunny Tears. Why not?
Yeah. I
So
suppose it's quite helpful in a way.
yeah, so my channel URL is still Bunny Tears Online, but if you go onto my channel and you look at who has made my videos, it just says Bunny Tears. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty helpful.
Yeah.
But as soon as I did that, you know, my little avatar / icon.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, it went to nothing for a while, didn't it?
It just disappeared.
Yeah.
And then
I noticed this.
went onto YouTube. I went onto my computer, which takes about 3 hours to turn on every time, so it wasn't an easy feat. Went onto my computer, went to change it, and it took me to my Google Plus profile that I didn't know I had. So then I'm in my Google Plus profile, trying to work out how to change my avatar / whatever the hell it's called. And then as I did change it, it changed on Google Plus, and then informed me it could take up to 48 hours to change on YouTube.
Oh, God.
And I was there like, what? So I've just changed my profile picture on Google Plus, something I refuse to use, and it's not going to change my YouTube avatar. And then eventually it did, and I was just be like, well, that just seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
And then what we mentioned before, I went to go and check my inbox, and it wasn't there. It just wasn't there. There was no inbox anywhere. And then, like you said, after about, I'd say honestly, about 20 minutes of thinking, is this a glitch? Is there no inbox anymore? I did eventually go onto the video manager page after just clicking on everything, and there's my inbox in the video manager page.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
I don't know.
The video manager page is where your inbox is. It's two completely different things, my friend. Why would you just... I don't know. I'm not a big fan of what's going on so far. I don't know. They just seem to be making things more complicated and trying to slowly but surely force Google Plus onto us. And I don't understand Google Plus. I have no time for it. It's too complicated for my liking. So, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either. But the disadvantage is in the position we're in, we have to deal with it. You know, we can't just be like, oh, I'm not gonna do this anymore, because then things bad happen. But
true.
You know, it's like you said, it's a pain. I don't understand why they've done it. I think they're just trying to make Google Plus take off as almost like a Facebook sort of thing. Because if you actually look at Google Plus, it is like Facebook. People are liking and sharing videos just like you see on your Facebook newsfeed. And that's what they're trying to make by forcing everybody to use it.
Ridiculous.
And I'm not a fan. And also, my Google Plus screamed at me for another thing, which was the fact that my Google Plus account was also RP Wings. So it was like, oh, hey, we noticed that your YouTube channel and your Google Plus account are both called RP Wings. your Google Plus account kind of has to be your name. So if you don't change that soon, we're gonna ban you.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I was like, wait, what? So I need to change this. So I was like, okay, well this isn't gonna come up on my YouTube channel, I think. So I'm gonna change it to my real name. So I tried to find the place on Google Plus to change it from RP Wings to John Smith, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the place to change the name, of which it is screaming at me to change before it bans me. Which, by the way, it's been telling me that for 2 months and nothing's happened. So, and it could have included a button that said, "Oh, hey, you have a problem? We need you to change this. This. Click here to change it."
Simple.
Yeah, or maybe you can tell me in the help bar. Oh, where's the help bar? I can't fucking find it. I don't know how to use anything on Google Plus other than how to change the background, and even then, I'm still not really sure what's going on.
I changed my background as well, but
Yeah.
Now I'm worried that people will find my Google Plus page and then they'll be just like, okay, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Nothing. There is a picture of the avatar, which I was forced to change, and then I changed the background just for the crack because I actually saw the button, and then that's it. That's all that's on my Google Plus profile, and I honestly could not tell you a single feature of Google Plus, not one.
Yeah. From my understanding, it does everything Facebook does. Just.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Whoop-de-doo, right?
Yeah, that is amazing. It's almost as if they filled a void. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no, we've got Facebook. We've got Facebook.
They
Good.
filled the void which 2 to 3 billion people have already found.
Yeah, precisely. I
By the
know,
way,
it's
that's
awesome.
crazy that now there's over 2 billion accounts on Facebook.
I don't understand how that's possible.
God damn.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Then to be fair, if you walk down the street and ask, "Hi, have you got Facebook?" I guarantee nine people out of 10 are going to say yes.
Yeah, and the people who turn around and say no, Cameron, I'm looking at you.
Cameron doesn't have Facebook.
No.
You animal.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Cameron, I hope you hear this. When you ask him why, he says, Facebook's for the devil. Why, Cameron? Why?
Wait, are you serious?
I don't
I need to speak to this gentleman.
Cameron, I don't understand why you have this attitude towards it. It seems to be... because everybody else uses it, he's kind of like, nope, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna sit here and use my Morse code.
You know what? I had an ex-girlfriend like that, a different ex-girlfriend, and she refused to have Facebook because it was popular.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, if it's gonna do something, the only reason I use Facebook is to stay in contact with people.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
It's great. People I know now, I'll know in 30 years because of this thing.
yeah, precisely.
I won't lose people.
You
Unless
change
I
your
want
number, don't worry, I'll hit you up on Facebook. That's it.
Yeah,
It's easy.
exactly.
Very easy.
You don't... For me, Facebook is much like the wands out of Harry Potter. You don't just change it. It's not like YouTube. You don't make an account and be like, I'm kind of tired of this account. I'll make a new one. You make an account and that is you. That is your online you. You don't change it. That is a lifelong account. That doesn't go anywhere. That sticks with you your whole life. And from my perspective as well, me being a few years younger than Bunny, it's like, well, when I start applying for universities and things like that, if they really wanted to look at students at that point, this is, a couple of years down the line, they can just be like, hey, we can just kind of look at this guy's Facebook. And if his profile picture's, I don't know, him smoking weed, and maybe we don't want this guy.
Yeah, that's a thing, right?
That
If
is
you
a
go for
thing.
job
I've seen
interviews, they
people
will
do that.
look at your Facebook profile.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to do, isn't it? They've got your full name. I think they give you your address or whatever, don't they? They have some sort of location or reference or something. I mean, they'll know what county you're in at the very least.
Yep.
That's all you need to find somebody. I found people with way less than that.
You found more than people, my friend. You found my personal messages. You found...
Yeah. What if
pictures.
employers are using that? Wouldn't that be scary? Oh, God.
That would be I'd never be employed. Never be employed. I've got
You'd
too
never
many
be.
messages on there that are questionable.
Really? Oh, I would not know anything about that.
You know everything, James. I need to ask you something. Have you double-checked? Be honest now. Have you checked again?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Since the first occasion when I asked you to see how much information you could get, have you checked again?
Of course not, Bunny. That would be a huge invasion of privacy.
I bet you have, you dirty criminal. I bet you have.
I would not have done
guarantee
that at all.
you have. See, no, you're just crossing too many boundaries.
No,
You've
I
read
have
my
not.
Facebook messages.
I have not.
Invaded my personal, private Xbox Live parties.
Why? What? When have... What,
Yes,
with you
you
and
have.
Chad?
With what?
With you and Chad? Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, not with Chad. Hey, I didn't invade that.
Not with
She
Chad, no.
she invaded, actually. Well, yeah, you should know. She joined
Did she?
that.
Oh, did she?
Yes. That wasn't just like you two in a corner. I was like, hey, let me jump on the bandwagon. That was like,
okay.
we had been playing Call of Duty for 3 hours. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get off now because it's 2 a.m. And then all of a sudden, some wee lassie pops up in the chat. And then the conversation starts to get very interesting without my own input. So I was like, okay, I can just cut. Did you notice my gameplay went really downhill at that point? Because I was just listening.
Okay.
Because that was entertaining. You knew I was there. You knew I was there. You can't have been like, oh my god, James, you're really there? I was there first. I know what happened.
See, okay. Here's the reason why I was mixed up, okay? Because there's been 2 separate occasions where I've been in an Xbox Live party and someone has joined in the middle of a questionable sentence. So I assumed, without checking my memory first, that you were one of those people. But it appears you were one of the people who were on the other side of it, where someone else joined and questionable conversations ensued.
Yeah. And
That's
such a good Xbox party. That was such a good chat.
What was it? Let's just stop.
It was so good. Do you remember it?
Of course I remember it.
It
Let's
was
just
brilliant.
stop it there, because I know some things were said that don't need to be said over on Podcast X. This isn't the place nor the time. Let's just leave it as it was, buried underground. Just so long as you stop checking out my Facebook profile.
I don't
my
check your...
messages,
You only talk to
hacking
Chud
my
over Xbox
email.
anyway.
Actually, do you know what happened to me the other day?
I probably... No, I don't.
I logged into Facebook, okay? And it told me that someone had tried to log into my Facebook account from a questionable or a suspicious location. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I logged in on a friend's computer or something. So I clicked check location. It was South Korea. Someone had tried to log into my Facebook account from South Korea. And it weirded me out because like a week before, in the week leading up to this, I had like 15 friend requests from people I just did not know. And I was like, what is going on here? And apparently, you were hacking my Facebook, pretending to be someone from South Korea.
No.
Yes. Just yes.
I couldn't fool Facebook as to my location. I couldn't do that if I tried.
Yeah, you could.
No, I couldn't. I could
A
only
proxy
mask it.
anonymizer would do that.
I could only mask it to somewhere in Virginia.
You could proxy it to South Korea.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bunny. I have no knowledge of this.
This is bullshit, James.
Of this
You know
PC
exactly what I'm talking
witchcraftery.
about.
This is
PC magic.
This is PC black magic. I know nothing of the sort.
Whatever.
There are people out there who have way more knowledge of this than me.
I'm
Way
sure
more.
there are. And there are a lot more people who have way less knowledge of it.
Oh. One day we'll have to release a recording of that Xbox party chat.
You have a recording of that Xbox party chat?
Would you rather be a
Do you
giant
actually
hamster
have
or
a
a tiny
recording?
rat?
No. Do you actually have a recording of that Xbox Live party chat?
Would you trade a
Do
testicle
you
for 1,000
really
subscribers?
Let's stop this, James. Tell me. You know, we'll talk afterwards. Carry on. We'll talk afterwards. I'm scared to talk now. God knows what you're doing behind the scenes.
Wait, what?
Is there a camera in this room you can hack into? I bet there is. I bet
No.
there is.
I couldn't do that.
Maybe I'll change back to the PS4 in
Oh,
case
wow.
you just hack into my Xbox One Connect and just... Oh, yeah,
Oh, the
buddy.
Connect, yeah.
So, having fun
Oh,
yesterday, yeah?
I know you. You're not plugging that in.
Yeah, I'm not. Let's be honest. No one's
Yeah.
plugging that in. They're gonna take that
I am.
connect. They're gonna take the console out of the box, plug it in, and just close the box again and leave the connect in there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
I mean, if I set mine up right, I could kind of use it in here. I mean, I'm more likely to be able to use it downstairs, but
I
Yeah.
couldn't. Yeah. My room is too small for that. I'm afraid.
and
I
you-
have one step between where I sit and where the TV is.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Well-
it's-
well. I mean, I sit right in front of mine, but I'm at a desk, so. I mean,
Yeah,
you're gonna
I'm-
be right up into a desk.
I'm
aren't you?
redecorating this room at some point because it's fucking falling apart. And when I do, I'm gonna lay out the room a lot better.
Oh, okay. All right. So, are you ready for a would you rather?
I am now. Yes.
Would you rather be a giant hamster or a tiny rhino? Randomness brought to you by RIP Wings podcast episode 7.
It's just what? Would I rather be a giant? How giant? Rhinoceros-sized hamster?
I suppose so.
And
It
then a
makes sense. A
hamster-sized
rhinoceros-sized hamster, or a hamster-sized rhino.
This is such a random question that
I'm going to be a tiny rhino because, hell yeah.
I'm gonna be a giant hamster
Well, fuck you.
because hamsters are vicious little fuckers, and a tiny
And a
rhino's not
rhino
gonna do any
isn't.
damage. Yeah, but a rhino that's a hamster size, you can just step on him and squish him.
No, dude. No, it'd be like stepping on a nail. I'm gonna fuck your foot up.
Of course it wouldn't.
Yes, it
It's a
would.
hamster size.
Oh, rhinos are built out of fucking Kevlar, man.
Yeah, do you know why you think that they're built out of Kevlar? Because they're extremely strong and extremely big. If I step on, let me think, a scorpion, something
You
that has
can't compare a
exoskeleton.
scorpion to a rhino.
If there was a giant scorpion the size of a rhino
Oh,
against a rhino in a fight, the rhino wouldn't even mark the scorpion.
oh yes, it would.
Shut up! No, it wouldn't.
He's got a lot of
course
momentum
it
behind him,
would.
get a bit of speed, go a bit of inertia.
No, it wouldn't even touch him. He would just deflect off of that
Dude,
scorpion.
you don't realise you can shoot a rhino with a normal 9mm and you won't kill it.
It's a 9mm against a rhino.
If
You
I
can
shoot you with a 9mm, if let's say I shoot you in the head with a 9mm, there is no head left. It's going to
James,
make a horrible mess, especially if
James,
I'm using
James,
the 5, 5,
am
6,
I
8
am I the
rounds.
size of a rhino? Am I the size of a rhino?
No, you are not.
No, I'm not. If you shot a hippo with a 9mm,
Okay, no, you're bringing in animals which aren't involved here. This is a
Hey, hey,
hamster.
hey,
If
hey,
I
but-
shoot a rhino-sized hamster, fucking hell, that's going to be one dead hamster.
no, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
What is the bullet penetration of a 9mm round?
It depends what you're shooting completely.
Okay, so what is the bullet penetration in a human of a 9mm round?
Once again, it depends on what it hits. But if you just hit normal flesh, I think it's 4.5 to 7 inches.
4.5 to 7 inches wouldn't even touch the hamster's brain,
You don't think?
and it's got to get through the skull.
I'm telling you, that's one dead hamster.
It's a
I've
size of a
I've shot a
rhino.
Browning high power pistol. There's one dead hamster.
Okay, look, if I was a hamster the size of a rhino, I could cause some problems.
That's
would be
it's
hard
not.
to stop.
Rhinos aren't as massively big as you think they are. They're kind of like a shorter, fat horse.
Exactly.
I can take out a
If there was
shorter,
a rhino
fat horse with
the
a gun.
size of a hamster on my desk right now, I would keep it as a pet.
Exactly,
there
and
was a
that's why you
hamster
want to be the
size
tiny
of
rhino.
a rhino in this room right now, I would jump out the window. It would be
Yeah, you don't want that.
game
You want to be loved and nurtured.
You-
And you don't want people experiment on fucking skull strength with a 9mm.
Just, this is the most ridiculous way. You've really let the side down here, James. I expected more from you.
What?
I did. This
Don't you pull this
question
kind of
has
shit on me.
offended me.
No, don't you pull
Yes.
this on. No, you're. No.
It's just
No,
so
no.
ridiculous that we might as well have just not answered it.
Wow. That's fine. I have a much better question.
Let's hear it.
Would you trade a testicle for 100,000 subscribers?
No. It's a better question. I'll give you that. A much better question. But no, of course
Wow.
not. That's
Wow.
ridiculous. I
You
would much
wouldn't.
prefer to earn it.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
Not a testicle, earn 100,000 subs.
Oh god, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
even
of course
occur
not.
in my brain. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You kind
I
of
want to
went.
know. I want to
"What?"
know who's the one viewer who is just like, well, really, he'd really earn a testicle. Well, okay, then
Hey,
each
you,
to his
you,
own.
you responded in a way that made me think you were confused about what I just said. I'd prefer to earn it, and you were like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean, what?
Okay, okay, keep going with your point.
No, it's just I like my testicles. I think that's about as far as this conversation goes. I like them. I like that there's two of them. It gives me good balance. Like,
Oh,
it's,
they're that big. They're affecting your balance.
yeah, they are that big. Yeah. No, they're not really
Oh,
that big.
God.
They're pretty normal sized. Let's not go into too much detail, but yeah, I like them. I like having them around. Well, I've become quite attached to them physically and emotionally. And if I'm honest, 100,000 subs just wouldn't do it for me. Now, if you
what
said
I
a million,
changed it?
I'd have to think. I would have to
Okay.
think about a million.
10 million.
Jesus Christ.
We're talking like some
Loyal
PewDiePie
subs
level shit.
or
Oh,
loyal
I don't think
subscribers?
anybody is capable of 10 million loyal subs. I mean,
PewDiePie?
they're not all loyal. I'm one of them, and I'm not.
Yeah, I'm one of them and I'm not. But at the same time, his ratio of subscribers to actual
Oh, yeah.
viewers is very high.
Oh, is it very okay? Well,
If
for
you-
that
if you
for that
gave me
ratio,
his
then for the same kind of
subscriber
I mean, he's got what's he got 12 million, and he gets what, like 5-6 million hits of video.
Yeah.
Would you trade for that level of
Yes,
exposure?
I'd lose that nut today. I would, yeah, I'd go without. I'd lose that nut on my first video.
Really?
I'd buy a solid gold prosthetic
So
one.
if I sat next to you and I can't, we were sat on a table and I slid across a butcher's knife to you and I said, I can offer you this right now. You got to do it right here and now.
See, now here's the thing. You'd have to. No, there'd have to be a test period of some kind. If we're talking about real life here now, there'd have to be a test period. It'd have to be some kind of
What,
magic.
without the testicle or with the subscribers? I mean,
But I mean, with the subscribers.
I
I'm not
mean,
saying
it's-
let's take it off temporarily and see how one nut feels, and then maybe I'll put it back on. I'm saying, like, yeah, you give me 10 million subs, I'll see how loyal they are and whether or not they actually like me, and then we'll talk about the nut. Jesus. What about you, James, Mr. James? Let's start with 100,000.
no.
No?
No.
10 million?
Yes.
You would.
I think I would. Because at that point, it's like I'm probably rolling in enough money and fame at that point with the girls, and we probably just don't care.
True.
I mean, I can deal with it. I mean, it's, providing I get to choose which side anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, which side would you pick?
To get rid of.
Yeah.
Left side.
Really?
Done and dusted.
I have absolutely no preference. I don't get
I don't
these
know. To
people
me,
who-
I don't know. That's what I would do. I don't even know why I said that.
No, neither do I, but hey, it was fun. It was fun. It was good to know. Good to
Oh
know.
god. Oh, my next would you rather is actually pretty. Oh.
What?
Oh god. And this isn't even one I found on the internet. So I mean, actually, to be fair, none of the ones I've said so far were made on the internet. But
I can tell.
would you rather? Oh god, do I even want to say this? Would you rather get a blowjob from a piranha
Oh.
or a hand job from Freddy Krueger?
Oh.
And it's gonna be his right hand.
Oh.
Now you know why I asked how to spell Kruger before the show.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh god, it's horrible. It's horrible.
It's got to be the piranha. Got to be the piranha.
I think it would have to be, wouldn't it?
It has to be. Oh, Kruger's. It's just knives.
It's
and
gonna take
it's
it off.
friction. It's literally gonna butcher your piece. Piranha, you've got some kind of chance. It's a low, small chance that you keep your piece, but
God.
oh, thank you for that, James. Thank you so much. I needed that in my
sleep in
life.
heavenly peace, my friend.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
That is great. You know what? Earlier today, I was thinking, hey, I haven't felt, like my penis is going to be ripped off anytime recently. So that's good. That is great.
Oh god.
Now I'm worried. Oh, you are messed up, Mr. James. You are
Oh, come on now.
on so many different
You've
levels.
met me in real life. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah, but now I'm worried. Now I am worried. You with your freakishly long arms and your
I can't remember. Was that before the podcast or during we spoke about that?
During?
That was
think.
during. Yeah.
Was it during? It
Yeah,
was during.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it was.
Okay. And now we move on to the
Really?
YouTube trivia section of the podcast. However, there is only one person to complete the quiz since I have the quiz, and that is Mr. Bunny Tears. However, this is a very special Q&A. This is the exact same Q&A we used on Podcast X, episode 1, all those months ago.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So, in theory,
Yes, in theory is the main point to that. In theory.
you should be very
Should
acceptable. I think I'm the word we use because I don't even know if I'd do brilliantly.
I
a while
should
ago.
technically get 100%, technically, but
Yeah.
my memory is so bad, I doubt I'll even get 50, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, God, okay.
I'm gonna get my.
I think I know what one of the questions is, and I only know half the answer, so this is already going terrible.
All right, I have the timer.
Oh, wait,
Mr.
you've got the timer, have you?
I'm not letting you time this. It's a question 7. Wait, Punny, has it not been like half an hour? Wait, what?
Smart man. Smart man.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ow, fucking. Ah,
Oh,
something
see?
flew in my eye.
Rookie.
Okay.
You rookie timer.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I am.
3, 2, 1. What is the longest YouTube video of all time?
72 hours.
What year did Smosh create that channel?
2002.
What video held the title of YouTube's longest reigning #1 viewed vid?
Oh, holy shit. Oh, for God's sake. Gangnam Style.
What was the title of the first ever YouTube video? Bonus point for when it was uploaded.
Welcome to YouTube. No idea.
What is YouTube's most disliked video?
Justin Bieber, baby.
Time's up.
Holy shit. that was quick.
You got 5 out of 6 done.
Yeah,
too
but
bad.
that's... Wait, what was the last question out of interest?
What is YouTube's most subscribed gaming channel, excluding networks? Now, since then,
yeah.
this tells you how much this has changed. Back then, it was PewDiePie at 8.5 million. In a couple of months, it is now PewDiePie's #1 on YouTube with, like, what, 12 or 13 million?
Yeah, it's something
That
ridiculous.
gives you an idea of his growth, ladies and gentlemen. Which is what you could get if you give up one testicle.
Yes, exactly, precisely.
So,
Which is probably what he did.
yeah. Now, you got...
Oh, shit.
Okay. Mr. Bunny Tears.
Yes.
The questionnaire from episode 1 of Podcast X.
Fucked it up so bad. Yeah,
What is the longest YouTube video of all time?
Yeah, I've
you
got it wrong.
answered. Do you remember your own answer?
It was 72 hours, wasn't it?
The correct answer is 571 hours, 1 minute and 41 seconds. Now, what I wanted was an answer to the closest 10.
So I got it right then, yeah?
No, you, sir, you weren't even in the hundreds. And this answer is closer to 1,000 than your answer.
Nice.
Yeah. You fucked up.
Yes, I did.
What year did Smosh create that channel? And you replied...
2002.
Is that actually what you said?
Yes, that's actually what I said. That's actually what I said. You want to know what the worst thing is?
YouTube wasn't created until
Yeah,
like 2005.
that See, I made the mistake. I made the mistake of repeating what I thought were my answers previously, when really, previously, I just repeated whoever we were actually quizzing in episode 1, and he said 2002.
Oh.
So
The answer is 2005.
Yes, it is, and I said that in the first
I don't know
episode
how
as well.
you got that so badly wrong.
Look, it's been a long day. I'm trying not to think about losing testicles or losing my penis.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Yeah, carry on. Let's go.
It was 2005. Next question I asked you, what video held the title of YouTube's longest reigning #1 viewed vid? So basically, what video stayed as #1 for the longest? Gangnam Style is creeping up there. However, the title is still held by Charlie Bit My Finger.
Oh, is it still held?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Still had it for like 2 years. Gangnam Style. It's only been out for like a year now.
True, true.
What was the title of the first ever YouTube video? And there was actually a bonus point when it was uploaded, but you answered, "Welcome to YouTube."
Which, of course, was incorrect.
It was very incorrect. The first
Wasn't
video...
it Day at the Zoo?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes, it
thought
was.
so,
It was
thought
me
so.
at the zoo. I think it was uploaded at 8:27 p.m. on Saturday, April 23rd of 2005. The channel was named Jawed, Gawed.
Hmm.
What is YouTube's most disliked video? Now the answer is Justin Bieber, baby. But you did say Justin Bieber. I think you deserve that mark.
I swear I said baby.
Did you?
Yeah?
Okay, I'll give you the mark then. I'll give you the mark.
I need at least one, Mr. James. Jesus.
Yeah, it gave. It was 1.6 million likes to 3.4 million dislikes.
Hiss.
That's gotta hurt.
Yes, it does.
And then the last question was, what is the most subscribed on the channel? We already spoke about that. So, Buddy Tears on the first ever, excuse me, questionnaire on Podcast X. A historical moment for us all. You scored 1.
One.
I don't know if you hear that. Can you hear
I did. I didn't deserve it, though.
that? Can you hear what I'm doing right now?
Fapping?
Tiny. I'm playing a tiny violin.
Oh, is that what's happening?
That's what's happening.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what's
thank you so much for that.
happening.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. James. Next week, I'm writing the quiz.
Oh,
And
are
you're
you now?
gonna have an awful time.
Oh,
It's gonna be
fabulous.
terrible.
Fabulous. Go. I don't believe you, because you said you'd do that once before, and you never did.
No, because I was nice to you. I gave you an actual
No,
reasonable
because
quiz.
you fucking forgot.
No, I didn't forget.
No.
I gave you a reasonable quiz that was fair.
I didn't. Yeah, but that wasn't for me though.
It doesn't matter who it was for.
Yeah,
Maybe it does a little bit. but-
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will remember this time.
I will remember this time. In fact, I'm going to start writing questions right now.
Oh god.
But anyway, I've got a topic if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
If money wasn't a problem, what product at this point in time would you love to own?
That's quite a good question. Okay. If money wasn't this assuming me just being in a money no object world, not just
Yeah,
Okay.
well, actually, no, not.
because then I could just have everything really, couldn't I?
Yeah, true. No, not the money no object world. Actually, I guess. Yeah, let's say everything in the world is free. What is the one item that you would like to have now?
Wait, what? But
Okay, look, okay. Let's put it like this. What product, yes, has gained the largest amount of attention from you and you would love to own? And okay, let's say there's one item in the world you're allowed to have for free. One product out there,
Okay.
you just pick
Alright,
any product and you get
okay,
it for
okay.
free. That's it.
I get it. But I can't just choose it. So
You
I
can't
can sell it
yeah,
and make money.
yeah,
off of it.
exactly. You can't
Yeah,
sell
okay,
it.
alright,
You
yeah, that's
have
what
to
I'm trying
use
get
it.
for. All right. All right. Okay. Probably the Polaris 4x4 quad.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Beautiful piece of
okay.
machinery. I think there's a 750cc version of it as well. I'd have that one. That's what I'd do. I think. Incredible machine. Incredible. I love it.
I am honestly surprised you didn't say another fridge, but
Oh,
I guess-
here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Fridge.
Oh. Oh dear lord. Well, nope, not a fridge. A quad bike.
A quad.
This specific quad. How about you, Mr. Money Tears? What would you choose?
I bet you can guess what I would pick.
Is it the Xbox One?
No, not at
Okay.
all. Actually,
Is it a car?
No.
Is
Think smarter, Mr. James.
microphone?
No, what am I in dire need of?
A girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oh, that's
Below the belt, Mr. James.
below the
below the belt.
Yeah, no, I just completely took off your belt and fucking smacked you with it.
That's going on to homosexuality there, Mr. James.
Okay.
I don't judge you for it, but I just don't see it that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, you bastard. I don't know.
Are you serious, James? I bet anyone listening to this could tell you right now what I need desperately.
I guess you're right. That when you put it like that, yeah, a new PC
Yes, a new
and a
PC.
beastly one at that.
Yeah, a beastly one, because it's just causing me hassle at the moment. Every month my paycheck comes in, and then I have enough money to buy a PC, but not the PC I would like.
Yeah.
So I've had to be saving a little bit here
How
and
much
there.
are you planning on putting into a new PC? Because however much you plan on putting into one, I can almost guarantee I could find you a way to do that same PC for less.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking though, because I'm still not sold on the whole building my own PC thing. I know I would fuck it up.
That's the thing as well.
I'll tell you what, we'd have to. The only way this would work is if I bought all of the shit, and then you came down to London for a day, and we made a thing of this.
That could happen.
Because I would need you in the room physically for me to even attempt to put a PC together.
Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Oh, wait, you can make a video out of that as well if you really want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, okay, so I know what happens next, but I'm gonna ask you, where does this part go, buddy? And then there's gonna be somebody else pointing a camera at you, and then you're gonna go ahead and put it in the wrong place. I'm gonna go nope and slap you, and then we're gonna put it in the right place. And
You're gonna slap me.
oh, sorry, did that come out loud?
Oh, James, you and your foreplay. You need to calm down, okay? When I said come over to set up a PC, that wasn't innuendo. That was literally what it meant. Nah, I'm only messing. But yeah, I just wouldn't feel comfortable doing it myself because I know you've explained before how easy it is, and it's
I
just
put together
basically
a whole thing for you, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
God.
But I think I might want to be going a bit more advanced than that.
Yeah.
A bit more money.
Really?
Yeah, because I want it to last at least a little while before I have to start upgrading it.
Okay, that's what I mean. It's a very responsible thing to do, I suppose.
Mm.
Yeah. I see no problem why. And as of recently as well, I know even better so what the best setup is for rendering in particular.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I recently I changed my PC in a slight enough way that has actually sped up my rendering by about 40% without actually paying any money.
Really?
Yeah, just overclocking the right parts in the right way.
See, now you've said that, but I literally, you could give me days to try and work out what that meant. I couldn't tell you how you overclock something.
Overclocking, it's just taking the run speed of an item and turning it up a little bit. Really.
So is it done electronically or hardware-wise?
It's done electronically. You come out, you go into the BIOS, you make sure you get all your presets right, and you set all that up, and then you make sure you got your cooling right as well. I mean, it takes a couple checks as well. Just you go for a couple 10-minute checks of temperatures, make sure they're not going too high, you're not going to actually damage it. Make sure you're not hitting that 98% threshold or anything like that. And then after that, you can pretty much get it refined to optimize it for temperature and performance.
Out of interest, what's the most amount of RAM you can have these days?
It really depends. If you really want to go mental with a motherboard, you could get what my dad's got. Now, my dad's motherboard will take 96 gigabytes of RAM.
Whoa! How much do you spend on it?
An undisclosed amount. But let's just say
I mean,
my first car would have been nicer without it.
Okay, James, I understand that you don't want to give away your... I'll tell you what, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I need to know how much I would like to spend to have an equal PC, essentially.
If you really want to go to the level that my dad's gone with it, then I can tell you exactly how to do it.
I would love that, mate.
Yeah, I'll give the brand name for anybody curious, because there'll be a couple people clawing at their screen for this information. EVGA. If you don't know who they are, then what on earth are you doing talking about PC components? But give them a Google. EVGA. And you look at some of their high-end stuff, you'll probably find what I'm talking about.
You're gonna hit up this price in the chat? I need to.
I can't touch my Skype unless you want the recording to stop.
Ah. Okay.
Although I can say it and beep it.
Wait. Can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you not
yeah,
remember all
but
those beeps
is
I
that
put
gonna
in episode
be-
2?
Is that going to be effort for you though?
No, not at all.
No. All right.
It,
Yeah,
it
go
has to
ahead.
go through that whole process anyway. Because there's bits I've got to cut out anyway.
Okay. All right. Go on then. Go on.
Okay. We're looking at between just for the motherboard.
What? Whoa!
That's just for the motherboard.
What?
Yeah.
So, how much are we looking at in total? More beeps for you.
Eh, anywhere between.
What?
What do you think, Bunny? What do you think?
And
Yes.
I know there's a lot of beeps for you, but bullshit. What? No
I'm
way.
not lying to you. I'm not lying.
There is no.
Do you, you remember that old
way.
spec list I put together for you that came out to about £500 or so?
Yes.
I'll put together that, but with these components, so you can see how high they actually come out.
No, that's just silly. There
At the end of the
can't
podcast,
be-
give me 5 minutes. I can send you the component list pretty much.
That is
Item by item.
ridiculous. What does your dad do again?
He is the. Oh god, I don't want to give away too many details.
Oh yeah,
but
that's good.
basically,
Never mind. That's
okay.
fine. But yeah, that's. I'm guessing he uses computers, does he?
Oh,
Or is
God.
this just a hobby thing?
It's gonna sound really bad, but he does have a big hobby, which is kind of recording music, which requires a lot of processing power for like rendering.
It
like
just does
10
not
different audio
require
inputs at
that
once.
much audio. Like
It does
processing
actually.
stuff.
I've seen his computer at like a 100% strain because he's got like 3 keyboards, several mics, all plugged in at once, all recording at once.
Yeah, but
Takes
I
a lot.
can do that here.
No, you couldn't.
I James.
You do not-
James.
I'm telling you,
I'm
that
a
PC you
musician,
could not do it to. And I'm telling you, what I'm talking about, you can't. Are you familiar with Roland keyboards?
Yeah.
If you think you can just plug a Roland keyboard straight into the back of your computer, then you are mistaken, sir.
No, but I don't use this computer for anything to do with music. I just use a normal Mac. Like a Mac, just a normal Mac PC does that.
I think
And
we're-
it does
okay,
it pretty well.
At this point, we're talking about 2 different things. I think you're talking about recording, and I'm talking about like production.
No, I'm talking about recording and production. Recording then production, in fact.
Uh-huh.
But okay, that number that you've thrown out there, unless
It's easy
that
spent.
number was followed directly by the word pounds, and not and not however many zeros was required, then you. Oh God, yeah, okay. For anyone listening who was an eager beaver on the 95 gigabytes of RAM, no. Just no.
96.
Just
96.
96, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just immediately throw that out of your head. James has ruined your dream of a 96 gigabyte RAM computer.
It's
Stick to a 16
Bunny
gig.
says this. It's not quite as extreme as a number as many of you are probably thinking right now. It really is.
James, it's a PC. With the number you just gave me, it's surpassed the fridges in
There
your
are people
house.
who pay a lot more than that for a PC.
Yeah, there are. The people who require PCs that can protect the government from terrorists and stuff like that. And even then,
Oh,
I
God.
doubt it costs that much.
I honestly, yeah,
is
you're overreacting to this number a bit.
insane.
This is like the fridge situation again. You overreacting.
No, James. Okay, let me put it to you this way, okay? I make quite a bit of money in my new job. Quite a bit. Now, to go for... to be fair, you gave me quite a big field. It's a big
Yeah,
field
yeah.
that you gave me. To
Yeah.
go for, like, the middle of that field, if I didn't spend a penny of the money I make, it would still take me, like, 8 months to make that amount of money. My God. Okay. Well, okay. So let's look at something more realistic, Mr. James, because you must have known I wasn't willing to spend that amount of money.
I know. I was just telling you what you can do at the very extreme end. By the way, my dad's at the very bottom end of that field. The very bottom end.
Right.
Because, like you say, it was a big field that I gave you.
Yeah.
It makes a sizable difference if you're top or bottom. My dad's
Well,
one's
yeah, it does.
way down the bottom.
It makes like it makes it twice as bad if he's at the top of the field. But
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, let's look at something more realistic then, Mr. James. I want a PC
Yep.
where if I render, the rendering time is going to be faster than 90% of any other PCs out
Yeah.
there. Basically, I need a PC that's going to be perfect for YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm going to be using it for. So, how many gigabytes of RAM are you going to be able to suggest for that? Because 32 is the biggest I've seen.
Yep, a 16 will do the job very well. 16 will actually do it better than 32 in some circumstances because you can often get 16 gigabytes in more sticks of RAM but smaller ones rather than less sticks of RAMs but they've got more RAM in each stick. Because if you go for higher clock speed of RAM, it will be better for rendering providing you've got enough for it, and you'll never go over 16 gigs. So, for example, if you had 32 gigabytes of 1333 megahertz speed RAM, it won't be as fast as rendering as if you had 16 gigabytes of 2600 megahertz RAM.
Okay.
So that's really what you're looking at.
And I'm guessing this is where building a PC takes over from buying a PC, because I'm guessing if you build a PC, you can build it specifically for a certain job.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could, like you say, you could build a PC perfectly for YouTube. Like, I know the right motherboard you'd have to get to have the right PCI slots on it, so you can put sound cards in and recording cards in that can record off your consoles and things like that.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is quite a valuable asset to you.
Oh, yeah, very, very valuable. In that case, how much would I be looking for a PC, in your opinion, that would be perfectly suited to what I need it to do, but with a little bit extra just in case?
A little bit extra just in case, you say. I'd say probably around 750 to 900. I'm not 100% sure what the prices are things at the moment, because depending on what time of the year you buy depends on how much the prices change.
That's perfect. That is perfect. I was expecting to pay more, if I'm honest.
No.
So, good. We will talk, Mr. James.
Okay.
We will talk about this. Do you want my next topic?
Yeah, I would love it. I've actually got quite a good topic and quite an important one, which we'll have to put quite a lot of thought into. But until then, yes.
Okay. Well, here's one.
Okay.
I've got two. I've got one. One's a pretty deep one. A pretty, again, it's going to take some thought. It's not necessarily one you can have fun discussing, but it's deep. And then the other one is pretty fun. It's just a fun one. Which one would
let's
you prefer?
Let's go deep to fun.
Deep. Do you think that you are a good person? So, for example, let's say heaven and hell exists.
Yeah.
Do you honestly believe that you would be accepted into heaven for being a good person?
It comes down to whose eyes I'm looking from. I think it's easy for people who are around me, not necessarily the really close people to me, but I think for this, friends are a much better kind of judger of how good of a person you are than family. Because around family, you're always a better version of you anyway.
Yeah.
Apart from like fallings out, but I mean they're not really major, are they?
No.
So I think if I was kind of looking from an outside view, from maybe the perspective of my friends, I think it'd be quite easy to see me as maybe just tipping the balance as not being. I think the reason for that is I would appear to be quite a violent person. I mean, I suppose I am quite a violent person in my nature. I don't know. Just like what you said to me earlier, just like general kind of things I do, I'm a little bit more aggressive with them.
Well,
so
okay.
I think in that way it's kind of easy to see, but I don't think of that as me being bad. I think of that as that's just me. That's just kind of how I do things. It's not like I walk up to my friend and I'm just like, hey, in the face, that's not what I do. But
yeah. Well, if I'm honest, Mr. James, I've known you for a while now. When I did meet you, like I said, when I brought up that, like
that
there
wasn't
was
in the recording, so
yeah. Should I? Am I right to mention that? Or
yeah.
Yeah. when I brought up that there was a little bit more fire in you than I expected, let's put it that way, it was not in a negative way at all. At all. Every let's just say aggressive side of you I saw was in a purely friendly and positive manner. Purely friendly and positive. There was never a negative aggressive thing. It was just aggressive hugs or play fighting or stuff like that. It was purely positive. It was not a negative thing at all. And I think that if that's what you're basing your judgment on, then there's no question about whether or not you're a good person. Like that was just all positive. If anything, it was just a part of you that was a bit more fun.
Yeah, I'm quite glad that you think that, actually, because I do worry sometimes with some friends. I mean, I've got a few friends kind of in my area of people that kind of we all hang out together. Sometimes I occasionally get the whole like the kind of what you're talking about with the kind of more fire in the way I do things. Yeah. Sometimes I kind of do that to somebody and don't always get the response I get from other people, because I think you're quite an outgoing, open person, and you can quite easily say, oh, okay, this is just kind of how he does things. I can get along with this. I'm I'm not, what's the right word for this? I don't want to say weakling. I'm not I don't see myself as being a fragile person. I can take a bit of this. It's fine. This is okay. Whereas some people kind of take that as, whoa, what did I do? Why are you being such a horrible person to me? And I'm just like, whoa, I'm not trying to be. I'm really not.
Yeah, but then again, you have to look at it yet again from the perspective of what you're trying to do when you're doing that. If you were a bad person, you'd be trying to make that person uncomfortable or trying to, I don't know, like physically harm that person. But that's not what your intentions are. So that doesn't make you a bad person. Maybe it means you might need to work on your judgment of character when you meet a person and you feel that there's certain things you can and can't do with them. But that doesn't make you a bad person, my friend. It doesn't. It just means that, you need to judge people slightly better before you open up to them fully. That's it.
Yeah. And in respect to, other than that, that's just one part. But no, you've kind of boosted my confidence on that, if anything.
Good.
Yeah, I think I'm with that, but I'm just kind of trying to claim that it's just kind of the way I am, I suppose. It's not necessarily worse or better, I hope, than other people. It's just different, But in respect to like my actions and people I don't know and things like that, I like to think I am. Just things like, when I'm walking in the street, I walk past, and here's the problem with my generation. I'm worried that whenever I walk past, somebody from, maybe a few generations older than me, so people who are like middle-aged and above.
Yeah.
I do often worry that they're going to look at me and instantly go, oh, he's a teenager, better stay away from him, if not I'm going to get mugged, And it's a reputation which I feel like I have to carry around, even though it doesn't apply to me.
Yeah.
So when I walk past elderly people in the street, I often, like, they say there's a door that needs opening, I'll try and do that, or I'll just try and make the effort to smile, or, make light conversation if we're at the bus stop or something. Something that I can try and at least get a response from them to go, oh, well, hey, this guy isn't so bad, he's not going to murder me.
Yeah.
And the other day, actually, they say the other day, I think that was today, I got on the bus to go to my local kind of town to meet up with some friends, and as we were getting on the bus, just simple things like I kind of stood back, and there was some woman with a, what are those things called? They just push along on 4 wheels.
Prams?
No.
You mean the trolleys?
Yeah, like one of those little trolley things to help them walk. She, I kind of helped her lift it up.
Oh, Zimmer frame.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I just kind of helped her lift it up and put it in, and then let her go in front of me. And as I kind of followed her on, I didn't see there was an elderly woman trying to get off, and she was trying to walk off. So I kind of at this point I can't really turn around and just walk off. If not, I'm covering so much distance. So I just kind of squeezed to the side and let her pass. Yeah. And as she walked past, she kind of said, "Oh, fine, then don't get out of my way." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make your day more difficult. I was just, I was helping another woman, and then you just kind of turned up and, oh, God, I'm sorry." But then the other woman who actually let on turned around and said, "Oh, I thought I was a bit out of order, actually. I thought you were quite a nice young lad." And I thought, yeah, I suppose I am. Thank you. And I don't know, little things like that give me confident boost that at least I'm nice. I also make the effort to. I don't walk into shops with hoodies or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Simple things like that. Even if you don't mean badly, if you walk around with a hoodie up in a shop, if I was the security guard, you versus the woman with the what's it called, the Zimmer frame, I know who my primary suspect is.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck me, if Granny Smith's around the corner, taking sausage rolls and storing them in her pockets, then damn. But you can only try.
Well, if it means anything, Mr. James, as far as I'm concerned, you're an extremely good person.
Oh,
I've never
thank
heard
you.
anything coming out of your mouth that was negative towards anyone.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Except me, obviously, but
yeah.
I take that with a grain of salt.
Oh god. Yeah, and that's. I think part two. If people think they're a good person, well, it's partly to do with who they surround themselves with. So if you surround yourself with people who generally don't do, whose actions aren't filled with the best intent, then you most likely going to start to think that, hey, this is just kind of normal.
Yeah.
Even though you're doing the wrong thing. But I don't think I'm in that situation. The people I surround myself in, I try to be a high achiever myself, trying to do as best as I can. I think the people around me have generally got the same attitude.
Mm.
So, yeah, that's that. What about you, though?
Ooh, I see. The reason I wrote this question down is because I honestly don't know. I've been through. I'm quite a bit older than you, Mr. James. I've been through some periods in my life where I can honestly say I was not a good person, not a good person at all. But I'd like to think that I've kind of grown and changed all of that just because. I don't know. At first, I started just being nice to people and being polite because I thought it was almost for selfish reasons. I thought, if I'm nice to people, they'll be nice to me. It wasn't because I felt like I should be nice to people because they deserved it or that's the way you should treat people. It was because I wanted to be treated nice back. But as time has gone on, after a few years of doing this, of just trying to be nice to everyone and polite to everyone, it's just become like my nature now. And it does make me feel extremely good to do nice things for people. So it's one of the reasons why I'm so happy to then be back in sales now, because sales is seen as such a negative job. When I was doing the door to door, everyone who opened the doors hated you
Oh,
immediately.
God, yeah.
And there was nothing I liked more than changing their opinion of door-to-door salesmen. Like, I wasn't there to sell them anything. I was just there to make their day a little bit better. Just have a little bit of a laugh with them. Tell them straight away, okay, well, first of all, this is what I'm selling. Okay, if you haven't got it, we can talk about it. If not, then, hey, how's your day going? That's it. How is your day going? And the responses I got just from that job was insane. People would bring me in, they'd feed me tea, coffee, whatever I wanted.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was good, and I think I think that was probably the period in my life when I realized, you know what, being nice to people and seeing how they are feeling after I leave, that was enough. Just I tend to try and go out of my way to make people happy, but then there's still that little thing in the back of my mind that's saying, but am I still trying to do this for selfish reasons, or am I really trying to help people? It's hard. I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I'd like to think in the eyes of other people that I have interactions with that they would think I'm a good person, but whether or not I actually am, I have no idea. I'd like to think so. I would like to think so.
So, my outside opinion, even before I met you in real life, and even before we did, I think maybe this happened during episode 1 of the podcast, you uploaded a video called Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Still to this day, I believe that's in my personal opinion, the best video you've ever made. And from watching that video, I don't know, I feel like in so few words, you managed to tell me so much about you.
Mm.
And from that video, I genuinely, just from hearing the words you said and how much you meant them, just from that, I was like, wow, this is a good guy. I feel like even at that point, having not met you, I could trust you, to leave you with my wallet whilst I went somewhere and then came back. That level of trust.
Yeah.
It's hard to say much other than that. I mean, in terms of the religious aspect, do I think I'm going to get there and he's going to be like, oh, have I ever sinned? Blah, blah, blah. I've probably done something that is not very Christian because I was never brought up with those, mentality.
yeah. I think to be honest, I think bringing in the religion aspect was a mistake on my part because it was I don't know why, but at the time of writing down the question, I thought, yeah, let's look at it through the eyes of are you a good person on the most utmost scale from God's perspective? But really, that's not too accurate in today's day and age to be judging yourself by that because I mean I drink, so.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're screwed.
So, like, if I go out and drink with my friends, so immediately I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'd probably leave the religion aspect out of it, but
I'm hoping God's just kind of a chilled out dude. Is kind of he's gonna sit there with his little notebook. And he's written down good things, bad things.
yes,
I'm hoping he's not gonna write things like, "Oh well, he was rude to his mum once because this happened or whatever." I hope he doesn't write things down.
That's See, that's almost the reason why I second guess myself because I was raised as a Catholic, and you were told plain and simple what you can and cannot do, right and wrong. I would like to think there was a generality to it. I would like to think if you've affected more people positively than you have negatively, you're a good person. But at the same time, it depends because if you affect one person extremely negatively and 100 people slightly positively, you have to look at yourself. I don't know. It's a deep question, but I'm really happy with what you said about that respect video because honestly, that was one of my favorite episodes to record. I think it was literally something that had happened in my life at that point that made me realize this I need to make a video on this at this point because it's just anyone who doesn't have this mindset at this point in time needs to realize that this is the way forward. This is what's going to make everyone love you. Just respect is so important for everything. And yeah, I'm really glad you looked at the video in the way that it was intended to be looked at. And I will go back and watch it again and see what I was thinking at that point in time when this podcast is done.
Yeah, that's good. I have to ask you a serious question.
Okay.
Can you hear anything in the background?
What?
Can you hear... Okay, Keith. All right. Can you hear anything coming through my mic other than my voice? Because I'm slightly concerned about the noises from the room next to me reaching the mic.
Oh my God! No, I can't hear that.
Okay,
cannot hear that. But okay, really? It is 10:30.
Give me a second.
No, don't put the mic up. What did you just do?
I just took off my headphones so I could hear anything other than you.
Okay, no, don't worry. Nothing's coming through.
I've put my headphones back on swiftly.
Good. Okay, yeah, nothing's coming through on the mic, my friend. Don't worry about it.
Brilliant. I remember to remove that bit.
Yes, I'll remind you.
Oh God.
Would you like my my next?
Just leave it in. I don't know.
Yeah, you could. To be fair, you could. I mean,
doesn't really give away anything, does it?
Not really.
Oh, do you not fuck it? I'll leave it. It's part of life.
Okay. Would you want my next more friendly, happy topic so we can
Yes,
get
I think
back
so.
on that, bro?
Yes.
If you were a one-man band, what would your band name be?
Okay. Oh, well, first of all, I have no musical talent whatsoever. Actually, that's not fair. When I was younger, I say younger, it was probably about a year or two ago, I used to have like an electric keyboard. Like, it was a nice one. It was touch sensitive. It was a nice, it wasn't a kiddie's thing.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to tunes for hours, just basically pressing all the keys on there until I found one that sounded the most similar to the one I was trying to find. And I've never been able to read music, but I can play the whole of the Pirates of the Caribbean tune on the keyboard, and that was literally just from me experimenting with all the keys and listening to it.
Yeah, but here's the question, Mr. James. Is there a keyboard in arm's reach? Well, to be fair, there's probably a keyboard 3 doors down that's in arm's reach for you, but is there a keyboard in the room with you?
No, there is not.
Damn it! We'll have to arrange this.
That's quite unfortunate. There is one in the... No, there's not. There is one on the bonfire.
On the what?
On the bonfire. At least that was probably a couple months ago. I can try and procure one for next episode if you want.
Yes, please. I would love to. We'll have a musical episode. I'll play you something.
We might have one left in the house, but it won't be the same one as we had before, because that one went to, I think, my stepmom for some reason. She wanted some kind of pastime, but we might have a cheapy one somewhere in the house.
Cool.
But that will do.
But yeah, one-man band. And this question isn't really based around musical talent. It's more based around what band name would you give yourself, like, to basically sum up you as a person?
Oh, fucking hell. I want to hear your response, because I imagine you've got something in mind.
Oh, no, I actually haven't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
All right. I wrote this down, and I thought, yeah, I'll think about it at the same time James is thinking about it. That's good.
Brilliant. Fucking hell. That's not the answer, by the way.
That would be impressive.
Actually, to be fair,
Fucking hell.
that wouldn't be such a bad answer. Just kind of gauging the audience's response before it's happened. I don't know. Have you got anything in mind at all? I really don't know. This would be a good section. Anybody who's still watching, thank you. Comment your answer to this question.
Yes.
What would you call yourself if you were a one-man band?
Definitely, and you'll have more time to think about it than we do.
Oh yeah, you got the rest of the podcast.
You know, I think I might have an answer.
Okay.
I think it'd be something along the lines of quite interesting.
Really? Would that be it?
Yeah. Not me as a person, not
quite
describing
interesting.
myself, but I enjoy things that are just quite interesting. I live for those moments that are like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that'd be it.
That's not a bad answer. It's not bad. I don't, because I imagine. Oh Lord, I'd be quite old-fashioned. I think I can pretty much determine that. I mean, I listen to the Beach Boys. That's not my generation, but I listen to them a lot.
Classic.
Oh yeah. I can't come up with an answer to the. Oh.
I'll tell you what. We'll go on to your topic, and you can think about it for a while.
Okay.
And
I'll do
we'll
that.
come back.
This topic actually requires quite a lot of thinking in itself.
Okay.
The best game of the old gen consoles. I think now's a good time to name it. So, this means of all, so everything up to Xbox One and PS4.
Really? Oh wait, so everything before Xbox?
Yeah, so not including the new ones.
Okay.
So all of them. What are we crowning the king of the old consoles? It has to be one game in particular, so we can't just be like the COD series. It's got to be one game in particular.
Oh God, wait, for me or
I think it's going to have to be for everyone. Yeah.
I have an answer actually. I do.
Okay.
It was a game I had on Dreamcast, and it was called Shenmue.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't, which makes me question whether or not it should really be the king of the old gen.
It was impressive. It was unbelievable, in fact, for its time. It was essentially.
So what sort of time we're talking about here?
Well, Dreamcast time, so quite a while back. It was essentially.
This is obviously before me.
I don't know. What was your first console again? PS2. It was around the PlayStation 1.
I was rocking the Game Boy when it first came out. I think roughly. I was pretty young. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
I remember when I used to live in Scotland. I used to have one of these little. It was it played Space Invaders, but it played it on like a little LCD screen, which you can actually see. It had like a mirror which kind of folded up, and you look at the mirror and you play it from that. Because the screen was so dark, you wouldn't actually be able to see it if it was just out there. Because there's too much light, just ambient light, and you wouldn't be able to see what's going on the screen. I mean, that's how old school I used to play on, and I'm not particularly old. It's just how far gaming's come in this time.
Definitely. Well, Dreamcast was released, I believe, just after PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And if I'm not too sure if that's correct, but I'm pretty sure it is. It was a pretty good console. It was a console that had an LCD screen in the controller as well. Okay. So you could play games like Virtua Tennis essentially without even looking at the TV screen, but obviously it'd be little stick.
What did the actual console look like? Was it like a cube sort of thing? Did you put like those SSD floppy disk type things?
No. You put CDs into it. Put CDs into it, and it looked. I don't know what the best way. It was white It was holy shit. How can I not describe this? It was white, and then when you pressed it, it was very similar to the PlayStation One, only it was white, a bit taller,
Yeah.
and a lot more square. And the PS1 was
Okay.
quite
Well, the
rectangular.
viewers would have googled this by now, so they know
Yeah,
exactly
of
what we're
course. So
talking about.
that's the game, the what's it called, the Dreamcast, and
Okay.
it
Oh,
was
the
made by
GameCube was what I was thinking of, I think.
no, it was a Sega Dreamcast,
Oh, right. Okay.
and this game, I believe it was called Shenmue, and I borrowed it from a friend, and it came on 4 discs because it was so big, and it was a free roam game set in Japan, and the freedom you had was just insane. You could literally walk down the street, and then you know those little machines where you put money in and you twist the hand and a little ball toy comes out.
Yeah.
You could essentially make money in the game and then try and collect all of these ball toys. That
Wow.
was how in detail it went. And then of course there were other missions, but it wasn't like a run and gun. I don't think you ever held a gun in this game. It was all about just talking to people and walking around trying to solve certain things, certain puzzles and stuff like that. And it was unbelievable for its time. And this was way before anything like Grand Theft Auto came out. Um, so I think that for me was the first game where I thought, "Oh my god, this is insane!" But at the same time, Pokemon was the one that everyone went the
You
craziest over.
what?
Yeah, Pokemon on the Game Boy.
Oh, God.
Everyone
Oh, actually, that's true.
had
Everybody
that
did once,
game.
except for me. I was never a Pokemon fan. I could never get into it, no matter how much I tried.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, maybe
never.
it was peer pressure, but I just fell into
I
that
couldn't.
circle.
I had times where I remember trying furiously to try and get into it, and I couldn't. I just couldn't get into it. Nothing I could do. I can't
Jesus.
enjoy it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
wish
what
I
a-
did because it looked like so much fun for other people. Whereas I'm just like, I'm throwing a fucking ball here. What's
Mm.
going on?
And
It feels
actually,
like bowling with a egg of an animal.
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for spitting on my childhood there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was one more as well. The Sims. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a weird one, but in my
It's a good
opinion,
answer.
when The Sims came out, I loved that game. I thought, wow, what is this? I can design my own house and have my people live in it,
Oh yeah.
and then I can go to work and get promoted and make a living. And yeah, that blew my mind as well. Well, what about you, Mr. James? What do you think is the best games to have come out?
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say I'm looking at a slightly different time frame to what Bunny will be.
Yeah,
I think everybody in their life has that kind of golden age of gaming, where
yeah.
pretty much when you first discover games, and all of a sudden you find this, and games feel so open at first. They feel like there's so much you can do. Whereas
Mm.
I'm pretty sure if you were to take one of these games that felt so open to me back then and show it to me now, I'd be like, yeah, well, this is shit. What is going on? I'm trying to climb over an object and my feet have just morphed through the wall. What's going on here? Honestly, my answer, it's going to have to be relatively new.
Yeah.
And it's so new, you've probably overlooked it. GTA 5.
GTA 5.
It's
I
but here, I mean, there's a few bad things going on for it. Online, yes, they're absolutely shocking. Hear me out on this though.
yeah.
Look at the sales it made,
True.
and
True.
and then you've got and having played it now, I haven't got a huge amount of hours in it, but I've got a fair few. There's so much you can do. I mean, I've made money investing in stock markets and then flying planes, and I'll admit the police are a bit OP at the moment, which I don't like, but. Yeah, I don't like the fact I kill somebody on the side of a mountain, and 2 seconds later, police cars are going up 90-degree slopes and shooting at me. I mean, what's up with that? But
True. You know what? I will completely agree with you. GTA 5 is by far the most revolutionary game that I think has ever come out, and it's just proven by the amount of sales it did. Over $1 billion in 3 days. That doesn't happen in any industry.
No,
That's
it really
tough
doesn't.
to do in the oil industry.
yeah,
Like that, I mean, that's serious money. And I'd like to say it wasn't well deserved, but it was well deserved. Some of the details in this game, I watched. For those of you who haven't seen it, there's a series out there. I can't remember the name of the guy who does it, so my apologies for that. But it's called Grand Theft Auto 5 Myths. Okay, and it's called like
yeah.
Mythbusters. So Grand Theft Auto
yeah.
5 Mythbusters. And the series itself, it's pretty entertaining. A lot of the myths they come out with, you wouldn't have even heard of before, but it just shows you the amount of depth that is in this game.
Yeah.
At
Things like
one point,
spaceships and shit.
yeah, yes, it's insane. At one point, the gentleman says that the myth is that if a car is out of petrol, which by the way, I already blew my mind because I didn't know that could happen, it won't blow up. So this gentleman, to prove a point, he shoots his own gas tank, drives the car, and the gas is like shooting out of the side of the car because he's just shot it, and then eventually runs out. Then he sets the car on fire, and it doesn't blow up.
Wow.
Imagine how much time they had
Oh
to
my
put into
God.
thinking, all right, let's do this. Let's make this realistic.
Let's make it so when there's no fuel in the car, physics actually do apply.
Yes.
You're right. That does take a new level of. I would have just overlooked that.
And it's all of those little things that amaze me. That like they put in so many tiny details into this game that you wouldn't even notice them. Like that's when I think technology is really at its greatest, when you don't even notice it's happening.
Yeah.
You just become involved in the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's everything.
And
So
some
you
of
are
my-
100% right there.
Yeah, and some of my greatest moments in gaming were quite recently. Actually, playing with one of my friends called Jimmy on GTA 5 online, which yes, I'm actually managing to get on Vine. I'm not actually having any problems.
Yeah,
so-
neither am I.
Yeah. How
Uh-oh.
bad is that?
Yeah.
The community's gonna hate us.
Yeah, I imagine so.
But yeah, I was playing with him, and it's just simple things like we were just squabbling over trying to get to this motorbike, and I'd like try and run him over, and he would like vault over a rail to the other side. So then I'd drive him on that side, then he'd vault back up. And you know, it was this whole kind of squabble, and then he'd shoot an RPG next to my legs, and my body would go flailing 100 feet into the sky. And it is you're non-stop laughter, and it's so much fun. We're not achieving anything. We're really not. We're running each other over constantly. We're walking up to each other, going truce. Okay, bang. You know, it's things like that. And it's just great moments. You can really just fuck around. It's great.
Yeah, that's true. I went onto the multiplayer actually as well. Now there's two Spanish guys, and they were the only people talking in the lobby. I didn't have my headset in, but I drove past them, saw them standing on the side of the road, and thought, you know what? I'm gonna run them over. So I just ran them over, and what ensued was a 2-hour session of us literally setting traps for each other while other people were trying to do missions. So all I'd hear is, psst, psst, guys over there, bunny tears. And then I'd be like, what the hell is that? I'd look around, and then two Spanish guys would just parachute in from the ceiling, like from the sky, and just empty out on my car, and I'd try and get away, and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And that was without doing any missions whatsoever, just like you said. It's pointless fun.
And it's hard to compete with those moments, isn't it?
It really, really is. What about is it just GTA 5 or is there anything else?
The whole series really did very well, but I think the latest one has a level of detail which I haven't seen in any other game yet.
No, definitely.
It seems, and it's the answer which nobody would think of because everybody's going to go back a few years and think of back to those things. But GTA 5 for me has kind of brought back that golden age of gaming.
It has.
I think for that, and tell me if you disagree, but I think I'm going to have to crown that for me the king of the old gen consoles. I'll be interested to see what happens next time, but I think for this run, I think GTA 5 has won it.
It has, and I am worried though because GTA 6. How in God's name are they going to top it? How in the hell? All I can expect is a disappointment for the next GTA game. Yeah. That's all I can expect because, in fact, they might even beat GTA 5 for GTA 6, but after that, there's nothing else they can do. It will just be real life. Yeah. Like, here's a gun, just run around on the street and just shoot loads of people.
Yeah.
It's pretty. You are right. In my opinion, it's definitely the most. It's just crazy. It's a crazy, crazy game.
Yeah. Good job, GTA 5. Good start. Good job, Rockstar. In fact, Rockstar have done a number of good games. Red Dead Redemption, I fucking loved.
I loved Red Dead Redemption. Very good game.
Good. If they made another Red Dead Redemption, oh my god, I would have so many hours spent in that.
Yes, 100%.
It got so. If you were to look, if let's say somebody was recording me playing Red Dead Redemption with also my friend Jimmy, like a couple years ago, it would be so embarrassing to watch over because we're running around calling each other fucking deputy and sheriffs and each other. stealing people's things and like doing the voices and everything. But it was just fun.
And
Open
actually,
field,
I
free
would like
roam.
to also mention Bethesda as well. I would like to mention Bethesda. I've mentioned it before, but in my opinion, the way Bethesda does storytelling is it's second to none. It's insane. Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3 in particular.
Yeah.
My God, the amount of hours I put into those games is just it's not even sensible. Just because I could clock that game beginning to end and then just start it again as a different type of a different class and then just have a completely different experience, a completely different story.
Yeah.
And yeah, the amount of time it must take to make a game like that, I I have to give them something as well. But yeah, you are right. I think GTA 5 just pushes ahead.
Yeah. All right. Settled. Okay. Here's a would you rather.
Yes,
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
I have.
Okay. So you know lung cancer that I've forgotten his name. Walt.
Yes.
Now, would you rather have the same condition which Walt's in, however, it's not terminal, so you're not going to die from it. Sorry, not die in the same time frame he is. You're going to have about 10 more years, but you have to go through the chemo and everything like he has. Or you can have AIDS. Which one do you choose?
Really?
Yep.
I would go for.
It's such a horrible question, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't say. I would have to go for the cancer, I'm afraid.
I think I would too, because the last thing you it sounds like such a bad way to put this, but we've got to try and be positive about everything. If I was to walk up to a girl and be like, "Hey, I have cancer," I'm probably gonna sleep with her.
Ow. Okay.
But,
No, well, I mean,
but if you walk up and say,
yeah.
"Hey, I've got AIDS," if these are the only two scenarios here, you've got to compare them.
I didn't
that's
even
a valid
think
comparison.
about it on that level, but you are 100% right. My God.
That is, I'll be honest, that's the platform I designed the question around.
Oh, it is. I thought as much.
Oh, God.
If I'm honest, also, I swear AIDS would take you around the same time to kill you, wouldn't it?
I'm assuming in this question that they both give you the same amount of time left.
Yeah, in my opinion, even though it is cancer, 10 years going through chemo with cancer is a better experience than going through the period of dying with AIDS.
Oh yeah, because it's just something. It's not something you want to have to tell people, is it?
Not only that, but I'd say for the last 4 years, you would be just unable to function.
You'd be a vegetable. Yeah. Do you have a topic?
I don't have any more, but please, for the love of God, tell me you have one. I do not want to finish on that.
I don't.
You don't?
I know.
Oh, okay. What is your band name? Let's get back onto this.
Oh,
Jazz.
yeah, my band. CDCA.
CDCA.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Think about it. Get a piece of paper. Write down the letters I've just told you to write.
Okay.
I've just said
CDCA. Okay. So knowing you and knowing these letters, I'd say it's probably can drink cocktails.
No. No, it's not.
But you can drink cocks anally, right? That's
wow.
That's your hobby, right?
Oh, all the time.
CDCA.
And there are probably a bunch of people watching this screaming at you right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? Okay. No, I'm officially confused because this is not
one of the most renowned rock bands of all time.
Really? Really?
I'll be honest, that's not even an answer. I just wanted to see if you'd understand.
But that doesn't make any... I bet no one watching this video got that.
I guarantee lots of them did.
All right, everyone, be honest. If you're still here, first of all, well done. My God, well done.
Thank you.
You are amazing. But If you actually understood what that meant from the get-go, please write it in the comments. In fact, if you understood what that meant before James made it obvious, write it down in the comments. Because putting AC/DC backwards, it's just not
I
what
want to
I
know
was
who's.
doing.
I want to know who the guy is who, even after I made it incredibly obvious, didn't get it until you said ACDC. He's like,
Yeah, I know
oh,
there's at least
now
one.
I see.
That's how non-obvious that was. CDCA? I was expecting it to be something deep and meaningful, Mr. James.
No, I
You
don't
have
know.
spat on my question, and you have hurt my feelings.
Oh, dear Lord. Ah, oh, I'm so sorry.
Can't believe this to me.
I can't come up with a better answer. I really can't. I mean, I imagine I try and produce similar kind of music, but I
Tell you what, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a band name, and you give me a band name.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then.
Okay,
Off we
let me
pop.
think. I'm gonna be completely genuine about this, by the way. I could have gone with I love dicks or something like that, but
Oh, that's where
I'm gonna
okay.
be genuine.
All right, me too
Yeah.
then. Fine.
Let me think. Okay. Hmm. Uh, okay. I have something in my mind, but there's a word I need to know that I currently don't know.
What?
Oh God. I'm trying to think of a particular word that will finish off this band name perfectly, but I can't think of the word for what I'm thinking. Let me give me a second here. Let's see. Um. Hmm. Hmm.
It's a hard one. It's quite a hard one.
It is actually a hard one. I've got a few in my head. Um. Hmm.
Oh, this is a great radio show.
I'd say I think I've got it.
Okay.
I'd say trained correct.
Wait, what?
Trained correct.
Okay, can you explain why?
I can. I
Okay.
think it was a combination of the fact that you are a trained man, and obviously
I'm a
what you do in your spare time with the Air Force, you are a trained man.
Okay.
But there's also what I was basically trying to convey was the fact that you're a trained man, but you're a trained man with your own thoughts, ideas. You're not a brainwashed man. Um, and I don't know, you kind of have that aspect to you that, like as we were talking about before with the whole do you think you're a good person, I think that you are a good person and you are a trained person, which is it's rare you come across people like that. I know a lot of trained people who aren't necessarily good people, so I think it would be trained correctly. I was going to go for nature versus nurture, but it didn't make much sense when I thought about it for a while, so I think trained correct is the one I'm going for.
Oh, my God, it's quite flattering actually.
What can I say? What can I say?
Thank you.
After speaking to you all of this time, it's an
You must
absolute
have quite a
pleasure.
few
my
hours in
friend.
conversation now.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
even without podcast.
I imagine we have more
Yeah.
hours in conversation than I have hours in most of my games.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to go with disguised Apollo. This
Okay, first of all, that's a sick band name, but I would like to know what it means.
Apollo, Greek god. You don't know?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, I wanted to get this right, so I had to quickly Google it because I thought of it in my head, but I didn't want to accidentally say it, and then it turns out to be like the god of fucking hate and AIDS. So I I Googled it. Apollo, god of light, music, arts, knowledge, and wisdom.
Holy shit.
Now, I thought this worked well, and the reason I put disguised was because initially it's very hard to get a vibe on you. Now, this takes me back to the times of when you very first contacted me. This was a while ago now. This was June-ish, April, around that sort of time.
I think so, around that time, yeah.
Yeah. When you sent me a message, which was very nice, and it was very well written, and it just seemed like a genuine thing. It didn't seem like you were trying to be, hey, I'm this huge guy, come and do this. It wasn't like, hey, please come and do this, because if you don't, you're a horrible person. You don't respect small people. it was just nice, the way you wrote it. Because I did have messages from other people, which went from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I was getting a lot of attention, as you know.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was hard to get a read on you. I don't really know about you, so obviously at that time, I clicked on your channel, I went and watched your videos, and I still couldn't really get a vibe for exactly who you were. But for me, the defining point was that first Skype conversation.
Yes.
That for me, like, first impressions really do make a difference. And that for me, you were just so nice, and like you kind of told me, this is what's going to happen. We're going to do it like this, and it was just really pleasant. So that was kind of like, all of a sudden, you went from, in my head, from being this kind of person who I don't really know much about. You were like, wow, this guy, he doesn't seem like an idiot. He doesn't seem like he's gonna fucking be up his own arse or everything, but you just came across as, and I think it goes with what I said about the respect video, just somebody who I think has got the mindset which I wish 99% of the population had. And in addition to that, when you did like all your videos about mind-blowing facts and things like that, you seem to have an interest for this knowledge, which I think a lot of people don't have. And I think from it, you've developed almost a wisdom, air quotes, sort of thing from it. With music and arts, obviously you have talents and music, and yeah, God of Light, I like to think you are an example in the kind of YouTube community. You are a good moral compass, I think, for people.
Holy shit. Well, James, congratulations. You may have just said the nicest thing any human has ever said to me. So thank you very much for that. I'm glad it's on tape, because I'm going to show it to my mother. And she's going to be very happy with that. Do you see what happens, James, when there's no guest? We just talk about how nice each other are. It's just,
well,
gets
to be fair,
so
we've
deep.
done both ends, but
Yeah, true. That's crazy, man. Thank you for that. Honestly, that means a lot. That's very lovely of you.
anytime.
Well, my God, I don't know what to say.
I think that'd be a very nice, methodical point to end the podcast on.
So do I. That is extremely lovely.
I think this is a particularly long one as well.
It is. I think we just about to hit the 2-hour mark, maybe.
I think we are.
Slightly under, perhaps.
There you go.
So yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Podcast X, episode 7, is it?
It is.
It is episode 7. Watch out next week for episode 8, where I'm going to get James to actually play the keyboard to you.
It's going to sound so bad. I haven't touched one for 2 years, but I'll try.
You can practice until then, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah.
We won't judge you too much. We do hope you've enjoyed. Mr. James, is there anything you'd like to say for the loyal listeners who've made it this far?
For those loyal listeners, thank you. There's not much else I can say. But thank you for being with us, and we will keep these episodes coming.
Indeed. So, guys, have a great day/night, depending on what time you're watching this, and we will see you in the next episode.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.